Hey everyone, how's it going today? And welcome back to another third stimulus check unemployment benefits extension update. The third stimulus package has now officially been approved inside of the House as of basically 1 hour ago from when I am filming this, and maybe several hours from when you guys are probably watching this, or if you guys are watching this into the future. Basically, the stimulus package as of Wednesday, March 10th, 2021 has officially been approved inside of the House. Now, it hasn't gained its complete approval yet, because as most of you guys know, is keep in mind it has to go through 3 places. Most of you guys probably already know, but if you guys don't know, is that it has to go through the House, and then the Senate, and then President Biden's desk. So right now at this time is that it was approved in the House, then it got modified and then approved in the Senate, and now today it has now officially been approved into the House, and now it is on the road as we are speaking to President Biden's desk. There is only one person left that has to sign this stimulus package to finally make it a complete approval, and that man, as mentioned, is President Joe Biden. Now in today's update, I really just wanted to share with you guys this exciting news, maybe talk a little bit about what's next to come, when we should expect Joe Biden to sign it, and basically just everything that's supposed to happen going forward from here, and then maybe just touch up briefly about certain details about the unemployment, and also about the stimulus, because all of this stuff was included, and we're talking about the big package. So we're getting right to it, but before we begin, make sure you smash the like button, especially in light of a lot of this great news. Consider subscribing and hitting the bell notification button for future updates on stimulus, unemployment, and all sorts of other programs within the stimulus package to basically get as much relief and financial support as possible, and also other finance topics when we're try to switch it up a little bit from outside of stimulus and unemployment. And feel free to comment any questions, thoughts about honestly just really anything at all. So with that being said, let's get started. So as we just mentioned is that the stimulus package with the unemployment, both for the PUA and the PUC, because I know lots of people on unemployment here, has officially been approved inside of the House. Now it hasn't gained its complete approval right now, but essentially it's basically on the road into the White House. You can even consider this as basically the final countdown or touching moments. If you guys are a sports fan, for example, in basketball, if maybe a fast analogy, you guys probably know, but it's just something I wanted to throw out there, is that we're basically at that moment where, we have the ball, we're about to win, we're already up by who knows how many points, and we're just basically sinking the clock right now, more or less, until we can finally announce the official approval. So in terms of the timeline right now, when they're hoping to do it, is that typically to get this package officially moved into the White House, it'll typically take about a day to physically move the package over. And then I believe is that it's very likely that Biden's probably going to just take a day in order to read through, confirm everything to make sure all of the details are right, and then he's probably going to sign it. I think the typical estimate right now is that he's hoping to maybe do the final approval exactly by Friday, right before everything, especially for most people. I know lots of people on the unemployment, whether this is the PUA or the PUC, to basically be able to hopefully now make the smooth transition and roll over into the next unemployment program. Now, if you guys are wondering about the unemployment or the stimulus check side to it, check out the 2 videos I made yesterday. I do know most of you guys have seen it already, but there's one called 75 Weeks of Unemployment. It basically just talks about all of the different programs. If you have been on every single program since the start of the pandemic, that's where pretty much the 75 weeks comes from. But I basically just talk all about both the unemployment and the stimulus check programs, and I'll also put it at the very end screen as well if you guys haven't seen it to get details about that. But if you guys want to know the general story about basically what's been going on is that basically they did sit inside this morning. They were debating on it. Technically they started over the last couple of days. I think the final outcome from the vote came out to be, I believe there was about 220 people voted in favor and said yes, and then 211 people voted no. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, none of the Republicans voted in favor of this. I think maybe there was a lot of controversy and maybe they were not happy about it. Maybe you guys can use this as just a guidance into who to potentially vote for in the future elections. And again, I'm speaking this, objectively, because I know there are fans on every single party and every side here, but the final polls, objectively speaking, is I believe 220 voted in favor and then 211 were not in favor of it. But the idea is, thankfully, there were more people that voted in favor of it, so now it is officially gained its approval. I think over the last couple of days, all that was really happening is that they were really just trying to debate on certain details, such as, for example, the minimum wage. Technically, they already did settle their differences, but there were at least still conversations that were talking about that. I think the final verdict is when it comes to things like the unemployment, or basically programs that they wanted to do but couldn't do in this package, is that they may be looking to try to do it in a fourth stimulus package. But this is something that obviously is very into the future, certainly maybe somewhere down the line or something like that, and it's probably more important to focus on the third stimulus package above all. But that's really the story about what it really ended up happening to the other parts of the program, if you guys were really wondering about that. If you guys want to know what has officially been approved in this giant package, this is pretty much the fast answer to it, and we will probably make a future video really exploring this in detail. So definitely consider subscribing if you guys haven't done so already, and also for other finance topics on the side. But basically, it's as expected, is it includes the stimulus checks, the unemployment, the child tax credit, all of this stuff made it. A lot of things related to recovering from the pandemic. Thankfully, rental, utility assistance, state, local government, SNAP food stamps, basically a whole ton of different programs. I'll probably make another future video or more future videos exploring even in more details about all of these programs. I kind of just wanted to give you guys the overview in today's update. And again, I did make two videos already, one talking about the stimulus checks, another one talking about the unemployment, which I'll put at the end screen, so consider checking. But the idea is that right now everything looks super promising, which is the really great news, and we're really just waiting for one man to finally sign it, and he has basically already expressed support of it. So more or less, I would say is that the odds are just, I never want to guarantee, because as most of you guys know, is that for the last couple of months, we have had many moments where we were kind of just either promised or believed a certain something, and then at the very last minute, just something happened. But I think it's relatively safe to say is that it truly looks probably as promising as it has probably ever been in this entire last months of not just the third, but even the second stimulus package negotiations. So that's what I really wanted to share in today's update. Hopefully you guys found that relatively exciting. Remember to smash the like button if you guys hopefully did. Consider subscribing and hitting the bell notification button for future updates on stimulus, unemployment, even though we are officially on the very final stretch, which is the really exciting news. We will probably make other videos talking about general finance if that is something of interest as we kind of transition over. And feel free as always to comment any questions, thoughts about honestly anything at all. Feel free to maybe comment on each other's comments if you guys know the answers to anything or have anything to share, because sometimes I might overlook something, and if that becomes the case, feel free to just comment it again in any kind of recent video, even if it doesn't necessarily relate to that video. It's always great to kind of hear from other people, or honestly just really anything at all. Hopefully in one of the next very near future updates we can finally announce the complete approval. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay well, enjoy the weather if you guys are in the Northeast, because it's certainly getting a lot warmer, which is probably perfect in time as we kind of roll into the spring season. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay well, and hope to see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much again.